Boom. Okay, I'm gonna hit record. I think we're recording now. So, hi guys, this is Khang. Welcome to my channel, Wholesale to Million. This is our first subscriber wholesale interview. I'm gonna have our special guest gonna share his stories and his first, most recent wholesale deal that he did recently back in late 2017. Is that correct?
Yeah, late 2017, about the third quarter of the 2017.
Great. And the reason for this kind of interview, you guys, is to motivate and inspire those of you who haven't done your wholesale deal. You know, sometimes it's nice that I bring on these powerhouse people that are crushing it, but also too is bringing on guests that recently closed their first wholesale deal, letting you guys know that this business is possible and that is possible for you and that you can do it too. So, also too is you guys, if you guys like these kind of interview, and if you do, if you like it and enjoy it, please subscribe and please hit that bell notification, because I do have more guests line up to do these kind of interview, and then you guys will have a notification right away so you guys don't miss any interview. And if you do like the video, if you do like this, don't be shy, smash those thumbs up. So let's get right into it. Let's help me welcome our special guest, Kenith Lopez from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you very much, Khang.
Hey, so Kenith, let's get right into it, man. Let's give people the background stories, kind of how you got into real estate, and then we'll get into your first wholesale deal.
Okay, that sounds actually really good. Actually, the way I got into real estate, you know, was kind of a crazy story. I mean, I was working a regular 9 to 5 every day. I really wasn't liking it. I was really trying to figure out where my life was going to take me. And I kind of come across like everybody else does, you know, real estate online and see how easy it is. But I was fortunate enough to have a family friend that was a real estate agent and has done this before. So he kind of took me under his wing. And he did amazing things for me. He really just kind of gave me my really foundation of what I really needed. I really just quit my job because after I found out the knowledge I needed to know about how real estate worked, it really just grew to me. It really grew to me. It fit into my aspect of life. I started trying to get leads. You know, as soon as I started, you know, making cold calls, trying to get as much leads as possible, going to my first meeting, going to my second and third meeting, getting denied for my first time was always, you know, it's a hard thing. And, you know, and going ahead and trying to get your first deal was kind of tough too. So real estate, it shouldn't be something that's so complicated. It's not, you know, it's really just putting 2 and 2 together and making people, you know, come in conclusion. So the way I closed my first deal was I went ahead and I was networking, and a family friend of mine that's also in real estate, he's an agent. He had brought on a deal for me, and he had said this, you know, this seller wants to sell. And I was trying to, you know, figure out posting this property, trying to, you know, post it on Craigslist, everywhere I could do, found this deal. Ended up, my first buyer ended up not even going through for me, and I had to really, you know, kind of buckle down and find a buyer within 24 hours. And luckily I did, and really just closed out a deal. It didn't make much, made about $5,000 to $10,000. My whole company did, really, because since he really brought on the deal, I really kind of, you know, it's a shared profit. So I really ended up making about $5,000 on my first deal, which I thought I was ecstatic. I was really loving it. And after that, a month later, I closed my second deal, which was kind of really kept the ball rolling. I made about $2,500 on that deal, which was great. And I really didn't get into real estate for the money. It really wasn't. It was for the freedom, and it was great. I never thought in my wildest dream I would ever, you know, be in kind of this position where I am, which I'm still learning, and I'm still, you know, getting acclimated to how things work. And I'm still learning new things every day with attorneys, HUD companies, title issues and stuff like that. So, I mean, the way you know, it's really been a journey for me.
Awesome, Kenith. You wrapped that up pretty quickly. So I'm gonna tear it apart and I'm gonna break it down. So, Kenith, so when did you start it?
I started last year. I mean, not last year, about 2 years ago, August 26, 2016.
Okay, so you start August 26, 2016.
Yeah, that's when I made up my mind to go into a full-fledged and dive into that real estate pool.
So August 26, 2016, this is when you go at it full time.
Yeah, this is when I get out of my full-time job and I go ahead and just dive into it.
Okay, my question for you is, what were you doing at the time at the full-time job?
My full-time job was actually working with a collections company, making sure people pay their bills on time. I would get in at 8. I would make phone calls, data entry really, and kind of make sure people pay their bills on time for a certain company.
Gotcha, okay. So you quit and went full-time, and you didn't do your first deal until when?
Well, after that, I didn't do my first deal until August, September, October, November. It wasn't until August until I closed my first deal. So it was actually, no, I'm sorry. It was June 26th. June 26th, I closed my first. I mean, I'm sorry, June 6th, I closed my first deal. June
June
6th.
June 6th of 2017.
Yeah, of 2017.
Gotcha. And as you guys can see, I mean, Kenneth went at it for almost a year until
Mm-hmm.
he do his first deal. So for those of you who's going at it for 3 months and 6 months and you guys want to give up, you guys, this thing, it takes time because when you first started, you don't really quite know how everything works. So it is going to take a little bit of time. So stick in there and hang with it. Now,
Yes.
Kenneth, so let me see here. So what makes you decided to quit your full-time job? I mean, were you scared? Kind of what your financial situation, like what position you're in at that time to say, you know what, I'm going to quit my full-time job and I'm going to go at this real estate full-time.
What really made me want to quit my full-time job was because I was young. I'm 23 years old now.
Oh,
I
wow.
was yeah, I was 22 when I first started, or 22, 21. And I mean, I was young, and if you're gonna do something, you got to go full-fledged if you really, really want to do it. I couldn't, just put my toe in the water. I had to really go full-fledged because I knew this is what, I wanted to do for the majority of my life. I knew this was something that I just wanted to, be involved and be a really big powerhouse in my market.
Gotcha. Okay. So now, Kenneth, like, if you don't mind me asking, and like I
Yeah.
said, you went pretty much all at it. I'm just gonna really break it down, so for everyone to know, so if they're in the same situation, they'll be able to relate to you. So, what kind of financial situation were you in at that time?
When you first start wholesaling, I guess I was flat broke. I didn't have like a dollar. I only had money for like food and my bills that I had to cover, really. So I didn't have no money for marketing. I have no money for anything. I barely even had money, to kind of even go out on a date, So I really started out with nothing. I really started out with a pen and paper and some leads. That's pretty much it. Some cold call sheet leads.
Gotcha. Okay, but so at that time, you weren't financially stable, but you decide just to quit your full-time job and go at it full time.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person where if I really want something and I really wanted to close a deal and I really wanted to be in this industry, I'm gonna go ahead and put my whole effort into it and give it 100%. And it's never failed me in life. So and it's been working out pretty well so far.
Dang, man. Dang. Okay. So now, okay. So could you break down for us, how do you? I know you kind of briefly share it, but how did how did the first deal? So how did it, like? How do you come to it? Was it networking? Was it? You must have mentioned, but I must have missed it.
Yeah, it was networking. There's a lot of like I said, I didn't start real estate alone. I started with a partner that kind of showed me the kind of ropes of in and outs of wholesaling and how real estate worked on the agent side as well. Um, Actually, within that network of my friend, we also have another friend of mine named Kushan. He also has some deals that he'd been working with. I guess it came from a probate. It came from like a probate court, and he had a deal. He had brought it to me, knowing that I'm kind of fresh and new in things. He had gave it to me, see if I could sell it. He gave me the deal. I went ahead and posted it on Craigslist, posted it online, posted. If you guys don't know what My House Deals is, it's a great website. And I went ahead, found the buyer, and went ahead and through the trouble of getting the earnest money in within 48 hours, trying to book appointments to get them inside the condo, and go ahead and trying to close this deal. And it actually took about a month because the deal did have quite a bit of title issues. It had some insurance that the title company didn't want to insure the property, so I went ahead and trying to go through the attorney loophole and everything, and went ahead and kind of closed this deal out, and we were able to insure the property and get it closed.
Gotcha. So Kenneth, so you actually had a mentor, or like, was he kind of your mentor, or?
It was my partner that I usually work 100% with is Marcus McNeil, and he is a very good agent in the Atlanta area. If you guys know him, then he kind of showed me the ropes and outs of things. And within his network, he had another friend that was working in probate, which is which is when you get your houses out in the court steps, and then you go ahead and you can go ahead and sell it. But yes, it was through networking. It was through the people that I knew already, and seeing what I could do with the people that I knew already, in my immediate circle.
Gotcha. So Kenneth, you're saying this. So this deal here came from a probate.
Yes.
And someone had it under contract.
Yeah, somebody already had it on the contract with the seller, and then I went ahead and got that contract and wholesaled it to another buyer, the end buyer that went ahead and gone paid for it. So the contract was under, I think it was $78,000, and then I went ahead and flipped it for $88,000. So my company ended up making about $10,000 on that spread. After we had split everything, I ended up with about $5,000 on my first deal.
Gotcha. Okay. So let me break that down. So someone had it under contract as a probate deal.
Mm-hmm.
Then did they assign it to you?
Actually, they didn't assign it to me, but I wholesaled it. We double closed on this property.
Right. So basically, were you co-wholesaling?
Yeah, I would say it would be co-wholesaling.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, you co-wholesale. So basically, you co-wholesale the deal. So you're the one that found the buyer.
Yeah, I was the one who found the buyer.
Okay, and which resource did you find the buyer?
Actually, I found my buyers through Craigslist and this website called My House Deals.
Okay. And you guys, I'll make sure if you guys don't know that, those two, the Craigslist, you guys probably already know. The other one, I'll drop the link in the descriptions, so that way you guys can go check it out. So you co-wholesaled it, and so now how do you set up? So how do you set up the walkthrough with the seller?
The walkthrough with the seller or with the buyers?
With the seller and the buyer.
Well, with the seller, it wasn't really much of a walkthrough because it was a vacant property. And since he got it through probate, he wanted to sell it really fast. So he kind of just went ahead and my partner took care of the seller side of things and went ahead and walked the property with him, gave him a number that he was comfortable with. And then I went ahead and set up those appointments after those buyers were calling me, profusely. After, if it's a good deal, they're going to call you like crazy to go ahead and put in their contract and trying to get this one under wraps. But I went ahead and booked all my buyers back to back, and made sure everybody submitted contract before even going to view the property and everything.
So okay, so you mentioned that you mentioned that you had the buyer submit a contract. So basically you come in contract with them first before you show the property?
I didn't it was on lockbox, so I didn't physically show the property. So they can go ahead and go into the property within their convenience. They can go ahead and at any time, so they can go ahead and type in that lockbox, gave them the lockbox code, They wouldn't get ahead inside. They assessed the property. They came back with a number to me. Sometimes they came out, the number's a little too high, or the numbers are, the number was just right, and they wanted to submit the contract right away.
Gotcha. Okay. So how many buyers do you have to show to get that one buyers that was gonna that closed on the deal?
I would say, thinking back now, it took about a good 10 buyers, ciphering through 10, different buyers, seeing the property and showing some interest within the property before I got a buyer that was willing to put in a contract and earn his money in the same day. So that was a beautiful thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So let me see here. So people probably want to know is how much time do you guys have on the contract with the seller to find the buyer?
Usually we give about 5 days due diligence, and we go ahead and, within that contract, within those 5 days, we go ahead and find that buyer with, and if it's a good deal within the second or third day of you marketing, it should be sold.
Gotcha. Okay. So, but how long do you guys lock? How long do you guys lock the deal down for?
For about, I know you say you probably do about 10 to 30 days due diligence or till closing time, but we usually close within 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. So it was okay. So since the time that you tie that deal up under contract, it took you 2 weeks to find the buyer and close on the deal?
No, it took us about 2 weeks to find the buyer and about a month to close on the deal because of title issues.
Okay. So basically it took, okay, so from start to finish, it took about a month and a half, roughly.
Yeah, about a month and a half.
Gotcha. Okay. So, gotcha. Okay. So that was your first deal, right, Kenneth?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And right now, now share with people right now, currently, what you're doing, kind of where you're at right now with the wholesaling business.
Yeah, right now, after that deal, about another month later, I closed my second deal, which went by smoothly, and it was great. I was very good. I picked up pace. I got it. Holidays kind of go into play when it comes to working out titles and stuff. I had found another property that I was going to close on, and it ended up not closing because of more title issues. And I guess they had a kind of disagreement on who really owned the property. It was either the mortgage company or the seller or the mortgage, holder that was at the time. I ended up not closing that deal, and that was about a month ago. I think that was like a month ago. And now I'm in the process of getting way more leads. I'm actually, putting money into marketing, cold calling, twice a week, sending out mailers, I'm going out and meeting sellers and, putting flyers out, on people's door, asking whoever I need to ask they're interested in, in selling. So, right now I'm in the process of closing about a couple more deals, which is excellent. I'm actually, closing up one that I want to actually send to you and see if you can go ahead and find something for us. So, it's been a really good journey. I got about 4, great seller leads that we're about to go in, and we're about to close one about next week. So I'm actually getting excited on doing that.
Great, great. Now, Kenneth, if you don't mind sharing with, maybe other people that are watching this, that it might be in the same area as you do. So do you use an attorney or do you close with a title company?
I used an attorney for this one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I did use an attorney.
Okay, and do you mind sharing the attorney with everyone?
Yeah, we usually use John Mayer if you're in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
He's a pretty good attorney. We go ahead and close with him. He closes fast. He's very knowledgeable on title, and he usually just figures out. And any hiccups that you may have, he's usually quick to find out. And he usually likes to keep everybody in the loop so everything, kind of runs smoothly.
Cool, cool. Yeah, so if any one of you is in the Atlanta, Georgia, and you guys want to have a good attorney that actually do these kind of transactions, here's Kenneth. He's already proven. drop a comment below, and then hopefully Kenneth will reach out to you with a phone number or email or whatever it is that needed to, so that way you can have a title or attorney in place to close on these transactions when you guys have the deal. Let me see, what else do I need to ask you, Kenneth? So what are you, so right now, are you actually going out and meet these sellers?
Of course. I want to be very direct with the seller. Like, I can't even stress that enough. Like, I want to be like best friends with the seller. Like that wants to be like, because you want the seller to come to a point where if he does decide to, sell that property, he only thinks of one person, and that's the person that's been, bugging at his ear and, following up with him every month, or, calling him, knocking on his door, sending them flyers. So I'm very direct with the sellers. I like to meet them at the property. I like to know what issues that they have with the property, if they have tenant occupied, if they're vacant, what kind of problems they have, if they have plumbing issues or anything. So I like to dissect everything that I need to know about the property. And, and I want to be friends with the seller, because then, they go ahead and that's more repeat business.
Gotcha. Okay. And also too is, Kenneth, you mentioned you mentioned on this first deal, you guys end up doing a double closing instead of a signing.
Yes.
Okay. And my question for you is why?
Double closings are usually when you kind of want to hide your fee and stuff, but I guess that wasn't the point at this one. I guess it was more of trying to kind of make things run more smoothly. That's what more I'm used to, and that's kind of things that I'm usually kind of more comfortable with, because in that way, the seller has no confusion about what they're making, and then the buyer's not having any confusion of how much he's purchasing it for.
Gotcha. So you're saying that most of your transaction, you just do double close?
Yeah, double close, or we can assign to. It really just doesn't matter. I just haven't. I haven't had opportunity to assign the contract just yet.
Gotcha. Okay. So you also did a double closing on your second deal?
Yeah, we also did a double closing on my second deal.
Gotcha. And you made 20. You said 25 on your second one?
Yeah, I made 5,000 on my first one. The company made 10,000 on the first one, and on the second one, we made about 5,000. My company made 5,000.
Gotcha. Okay, and then you get the cut for 25, right?
Of course, yes, yes.
Gotcha. Now, how do you find the deal on the second one? Where's that source come from, or
that was actually from the same seller that I sold the first one from. So that was more repeat business.
Oh, wow. Okay. And how did you end up finding the buyer for that?
Same process, marketing it on Craigslist, marketing it on My House Deals, marketing anywhere I could find, and, buyers come from Craigslist and everything. You go ahead and, send them to them, other buyers from other deals that like my first deal, there was so much traction on that deal. And I went ahead and gone and market to them my second deal. And that's how pretty much you build your buyers list, because then you have so much traction off of these deals. You have so many buyers just coming to you to get these deals.
Gotcha. Okay. So now, Kenneth, when you first started out, you basically just said that it's all in your network realm. So you didn't start out trying to build your buyers list or anything like that. You were working in your network group. Is that correct?
Yeah, but the most things that I try to work in the most is finding the seller and finding, the person who want to sell. Because if it's a good deal, it's gonna sell itself. You put it out there for a good number, a buyer's gonna pop out and want this, and want that property. So I've always felt like if you always have like something to sell, it's always a good thing, because you're always gonna find a buyer for it.
Gotcha. Now, Kenneth, on your first deal, so you guys got under contract for 78. You guys wholesale for 88. And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure everybody wants to know, what's the ARV on that? Do you remember?
The ARV was about 126 to 150.
Okay. Now, what is is that a 2-bedroom, 1-bath in your area?
Yeah, I think it was a condo, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
So that was a condo. Now, what is a single family home kind of run for in your area?
A single family home really just depends. A single family home could run up to maybe in good condition from 80K all the way to 120K. Really just depends.
Okay. And typically, what is your guys' average wholesale fee, or maybe you or maybe some other wholesaler that you know in the area? Like, what's the typical wholesale fee for that kind of price range?
For that kind of price range would probably be around $10,000 to $15,000 on like an average fee. But if you get a good seller that's really being a pain and trying to, really get market value, you could probably end up getting, 5,000, $10,000 for a deal.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And John, do you have, or I'm sorry, Kenneth, do you have a copy? Do you have a copy of if you have a copy of your first wholesale check or a wire copy? I'm sure everybody would love to see that.
Yeah, I actually do have a copy, but I can send you that via email if you want to attach it to the video.
Absolutely, man. Yep. Send that over, and I'll pop that on. I'll pop that onto the video.
Okay, that sounds actually really good because I don't have it in front of me. Actually, my printer didn't even want to work last night because I was trying to prepare for this video.
Sure, sure. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, I really appreciate it, man. You're taking the time out of your day to come on to share with everyone the stories. So I hope you guys enjoy this interview. And for those of you who is looking to come on, I would like to interview every single one of you guys that recently done your first wholesale deal. I mean, this whole thing is to inspire and motivate other that haven't done their first wholesale deal yet, and let them know that everybody can do this. It's all about learn and then apply. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So, Kenneth, do you have any last word for any of the viewer?
Keep going. There's nothing in this world stopping you from closing your first deal. Don't let 6 months to a year discourage you from closing a deal. Network as much as possible. Find yourself a good seller and build that trust with him, and go ahead and make good business. This real estate's here for the taking, and you go ahead and go do your thing, guys.
Awesome, man. Hey, if you don't mind me asking, so what's your goal for 2018, dude?
My goal for 2018, my goal for last year was $10,000 in real estate, which I thought was, mediocre. Now that I see it, this year is about $25,000 in wholesale deals. So I think that's very possible. I'm already starting to close my first couple deals of the year.
Nice.
So, and everything's going pretty much smooth. And my goal for this year is, one, to make $25,000 net profit for me and to help out at least 50 sellers.
Nice, buddy. Hey, that's awesome. Sounds great. And you guys, I mean, that's the thing about this business is, a lot of people come across like, hey, are we taking advantage of the seller, etc. There are sellers that that lied about their condition of their property, but basically we're in this business also too is it's it makes good money, but also too is you can help other sellers out. There's people on there. I mean, most of our seller, they know what their property's worth, and they're willing to sell it at a discount. And most people just don't understand that is because they need people like us that comes in and can take care of the things that they needed to be taken care of. They wanted to sell it as is. They don't want to do all the fixing. Just like, where your situation, this is a probate leads, and they don't want to deal with it. They just want a quick hassle-free sell. And that's why they need our service.
Yes, sir. That's exactly why they need us. I mean, the business is there. There's people there that don't want to either deal with, money issues on the mortgage, or they don't want to deal with the conditions of the property, or they don't want to deal with, just having to, fix it up for an agent. So that's when we come in and give them a realistic number on what they actually could get for their property. And, we honestly have to make a living. So we go ahead and put our number on top, and we're actually helping these people getting what they need done.
Awesome, man. Yep. I just want to wrap it up, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this interview. And if you guys do, please don't be shy. Smash those thumbs up and drop me a comment. Let me know if you want to be the next one. We have a couple people lined up already. but I would like to interview any one of you that recently done your first wholesale deal, get you guys on and get you guys share your stories and your first wholesale deal to inspire and motivate other people as well. So Kenneth, just thank you so much, man, for taking time of your day to be able to do this. So I really, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Khang. Have a great one.
Hey, not a problem. You too, bud. I'm going to wrap this up.